something else though that I've really liked is like each chapter feels very unique, and I
Mm,
think that's just because like of the way I've told the story. So like
mm,
the first chapter takes place over a day,
mm,
but like chapter two and three, they like go over a couple months,
mm,
and then like the way number five is told is like it jumps between the present and the past of that same day. To like, I like because I think I said this last time, but I because I read Harry Potter just before I started doing this, like there's a lot of mystery in that, and I
mm,
really enjoyed, being teased, like different little things until it finally all clicks together.
mm.
So just like yeah, using different narrative structures to achieve that, like achieve mystery and tease stuff
Mm.
through that has been really fun.
For anyone who hasn't seen the previous ones, just give a quick rundown of what the book is about.
It's essentially about this girl called it's basically a biography of me, but fictionalized.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's about a girl called Erica, and she finds this book. When you write stuff in it, it disappears, like it
Mm-hmm.
basically absorbs the ink or whatever, and it just remains blank. But after she has like this experience for the first time, it shows up as if she's written it in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, just trying to figure out what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think the book's about like is I mean it's about fucking doing drugs and shit,
Mm-hmm.
but so it's about that, but it's also about like friendships and stuff because that's like something that I really struggled with for like a long time, and just kind of um, hinting, is it the other people's fault or is it the main character's fault or
Mm-hmm.
is it a bit of both? And just like yeah, I think to summarize,
Mm-hmm.
drugs, friends, and like drug
Sure.
conversations.
Okay. I don't think you've mentioned that it's a fictionalized biography on the show before.
Okay, well that's what it is.
Okay.
Like it takes um I don't know if I said, but when yeah, I I don't do drugs, okay? But if I were
Yes.
to, I keep notes every time I do it. So like if
Mm-hmm.
I am just thinking something, I'll write it down, and I usually do like a bit of a recount afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I have a whole collection of that. So basically,
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly. Yeah. So I have like this whole collection of stories, and so I've taken all my favorite ones and all the ones that like were impactful and kind of taught me stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I've put them into the book, and used this magical book that the main character
Mm-hmm.
finds as like a fictionalization. And obviously everyone's like got different names and they're changed appearances and stuff. And there's like certain details that have been like completely changed,
Mm-hmm.
like compared to my life. But yeah, that's the lowdown.
That's the
And so
lowdown.
yeah,
How
I'm
long
a
do you
third
reckon?
of.
Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm a third of the way done now. So
How long do you think it'll take you to actually get done if you don't, break down and get to halfway through the book and realize the entire thing's horrible and restart?
um, I hope that doesn't happen.
Get to like 90% done, rewrite the entire thing.
I'm like legitimately happy with all of it so far,
Mm-hmm.
which is like
Except the first
surprise.
chapter, which you rewrote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't rewrite it. I
Right.
just edited it a
Okay.
lot.
Fair enough.
Um, but what was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm really happy with it, which normally doesn't happen with a lot of my stuff that I make.
Hmm.
So I think that's a good sign that that I'm not gonna just break down and be like, no, it's disgusting. I need to rewrite all of it.
Hmm.
But I've kind of set myself the goal of getting it done by the end of the year.
Hmm.
Like the reason why it's taken me like this long so far, I think it's taken me about half a year to write this much, and I think it's only going to speed up from there because
Hmm.
I spent a lot of time planning out what I wanted to do and a lot
Yep.
of time finding my writing style. Um, but I have a pretty good idea where it's going from here. So
I'm.
yeah, if I could have like a first proper draft done by the end of the year, I'd be happy.
Hmm. Well, I hope that goes well. I for one haven't really done much creative writing at all. It's just I don't know. It's just something that's never really appealed to me. But I can see why it appeals to you, like judging by like the sort of content you've made on your channel. Like you seem to have an interest in trying to tell some sort of story, as well as fucking hijacking my channel and telling a story there as well. Mm.
I
But
haven't
yeah,
really told a story. It's just a
you're trying to
little
connect it into your own story.
little Easter egg. I
Mm.
was thinking about like I remember when I first came on, I was like, oh, should I continue my character of the one that's on the channel? But I was like, oh no, I can't be fucked.
You actually were considering that.
I was considering it, but like it'd just be too much effort to try and work it into everything
Mm-hmm.
else that I already have going with that.
Right.
I still am planning to make more videos. Like
Mm-hmm.
I still have like a pretty good plan of the next couple. I just have I don't know, I've had a lot of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I also I haven't been really feeling it recently. That's something I thought was funny is like in my book is a lot of the times it talks about uh, the main character trying to force stuff out of the magical book. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go um, get high a bunch of times to try and like get the book to write shit down for me," but
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't work for her because she's trying to force it.
Right.
And I found it funny because I'd have that exact same thing happen when I was trying to write it if I wasn't in the right mood. Like
Mm-hmm.
trying to write while I wasn't meant to. It just it was just a slog. I'd get like two sentences done. I'm like, nah, fuck this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the same with making videos as well. It's like there's been times where I've made videos when I really haven't wanted to, and I think they're my worst videos.
Mm-hmm.
So I've kind of just left it. The kind of approach I'm taking now is like I'll make videos when I have the call to it. I guess
Mm-hmm.
I think that's resulted in stuff that's a lot better.
Hmm. I can certainly respect that approach, but I sort of look at it in the sort of exact opposite way. Got this tweet here from Ben Alward, and he sort of sums up where I stand on it like pretty succinctly. Um, Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Is it showing on the screen? Yes, it is. Uh, Other than waiting, this is what I do when I get writer's block and can't think of any good ideas. I do a lot of bad ideas. I apply this to code, content startups. Making good content is a prerequisite to make. Making bad content is a prerequisite to making good content.
Yeah, I definitely get that as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's like definitely another good approach. Like you just um that is a tip I've heard for writing is like just
Mm-hmm.
allow yourself to write pure shit and
Mm-hmm.
then go back over it afterwards. And I think I have done that a couple times. It's just um I'll like um switch between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I, I haven't really done that for my channel though because it's such a tightly connected story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have. I want to try and not have a bad video in there,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's going to be a really important one in the
Right.
overarching story.
No, I can certainly get that. With that, that's why I get your approach. It's just not the way that I like to handle stuff myself. But it is good to see that you are applying that at least to the writing. Because otherwise,
Yeah.
you might actually hit a point where even though you have plans it out, you're just not sure how to actually start your plan.
Yeah. Well, I remember I finished my first chapter and I was like, wait, what the fuck? I actually wrote like 6,000
Mm-hmm.
words of a chapter. And yeah, trying to start the second one was really intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I kind of like let myself do a bit of a janky job and then fixed it afterwards. And yeah, going forward from that was
Mm-hmm.
fine.
I'm sure like there has to be like some like level of intimidation you have where now you see like there's what 21,000 words, something like that. Actually, no, sorry, more than that, like 28,000 if you've got 7 chapters. Like
Um,
going back and like having to read and edit that, like must as time goes on, as more and more gets added to it, must get more and more overwhelming.
Yeah, of course, and like making sure everything makes sense and like linking stuff from well, like making sure that stuff that's alluded to in the first couple chapters is like starting to pay off.
Mm-hmm.
Like making sure all of that makes sense and yeah, having to go back and read through a bunch of stuff does get a bit intimidating.
Mm-hmm.